Hello and welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Remember on YouTube to use the SLS method. That stands for share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find me on YouTube at Mac Jackson Jr. on YouTube. In this segment, we talk about businesses, why they are the number one source of cybercrimes and identity theft. In the previous segment, folks, I talked about businesses put together the best firewalls, they hire the best IT people to work for their organization and make sure that their organization is tight and secure. Hackers are looking to break down these barriers of security to firewalls in order to grab and acquire that information, because information is the new currency. Folks. Information is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, even if it's a one-person profile, meaning that a few names, addresses, and birth dates that may seem like nothing, futile to most of you, but to a hacker, that's worth a lot, because they could sell that information to other hackers in the darknet that will put together a jigsaw puzzle of an individual's profile. And once that puzzle is put together and it's available in the underground, folks, they meaning the bad guys, could then buy and purchase, get loans, create all kinds of hassle for the actual victim, because they have put together a profile of all the information they need for that person. So that's why it's very, very important for you to understand that you need to protect your data. So we're going to talk about ways to do that. Let's start with individuals first. So as an individual, you have lots of different ways you can protect your information. Let's start with your smartphones. Yes, all of you out there, we have smartphones. I gotta tell you a little quick story. Here in Las Vegas, if you go down Fremont Street Experience, I was just there a couple of days ago, and I'm cruising down Fremont Street Experience, going east, and as I'm crossing 6th Street, I'm looking at both sides of the road. Almost everybody on the street has a smartphone, and they're looking down at their smartphone as they're walking, literally almost running into each other. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, wow, this is a haven for hackers right here, because everybody has their smartphone open, and I bet you a lot of the people that are walking down the street, they are on Wi-Fi hotspots from the surrounding areas and thinking that they're getting information on the internet, that the information they're getting on the internet is secure. Folks, it's very, very important. If you are walking with your smartphone, you should not have your Wi-Fi open to accept any hotspot to jump onto to have access to the internet. You should only have access to the internet from hotspots that you are confident and know that they are secured. So do not jump on any hotspot that's out there, because hackers can create, with a simple program and a laptop sitting in a van or a car parked within a mile or two away from you, they could be in public parking, sitting there in a van, and they could have a fake Wi-Fi hotspot. And you, as a tourist or an individual walking on the street, access that hotspot, and your information on your smart device can be compromised. So it's very important not to do that. To have those hotspots turned off unless you have a hotspot that you are very confident and that you know, in fact, that it won't be compromised by a cyber hacker. So that's one of the things that you can do. The second one is to make sure you have a VPN. So let's say you are on the internet. You're on the internet at a coffee shop or a hotel, and they give you a password. You think you're secure? No, not necessarily. You need to have an additional piece of software on your smart device. It's called a VPN, Virtual Private Network, a VPN. Now you can find these VPNs on your phone through the iOS, the iTunes Store, or the Android Store. Download a VPN, folks. There are several out there. One of the ones that I recommended to my clients to use is called Hotspot Shield. Hotspot Shield. It's one of the ones out there, and full disclosure, they're not one of my sponsors, but I like their product. I'm going to give them props. It's called Hotspot Shield. Definitely check that software program out. And what it does, it gives your phone or smart device an extra layer of protection when hackers are looking for IP addresses, your IP address will not show up in their list. So that is important. So it gives you an extra layer of protection and mitigation, let's say, because not everything is 100%, but at least having this on your device gives you an extra layer of protection. So that's one thing you could do. The next one, folks, is having a password management system. Now, the easiest way to compromise someone's system is to guess their password. And there are lots of passwords that are out there that are easy to guess that users have installed because you're so anxious to get to the website that you're wanting to get to, and you don't want to remember hundreds of passwords of different websites. A lot of you, I've noticed, that send me emails state that you have the same passwords for all your different websites that you visit. Not good, folks. You need to have a different password. Then the question is, how do you remember these passwords? Should you write them down on a piece of paper? No, you should not write them down on a piece of paper. I've talked about this before. If you write your password down on a piece of paper, you literally created currency, folks. That blank piece of paper that's worth nothing. Once you put your user ID, your password, the website you visit on this piece of paper so you can remember it, anyone can walk by you with their smartphone and take a quick snapshot of that piece of paper. Now they have access to all of your accounts. But rather than going into your accounts, they take that photo, go into the darknet, folks, and sell that to other cyber criminals that would pay top dollar for that information. That's right, folks. Again, remember, putting together a jigsaw puzzle of your profile. So, what's the remedy? It's very important for you to think of this, folks. You need to have a password management system set up for you to use within your browser. A password management system. This is a system that can encrypt all the passwords that you use to websites that you visit. All you have to remember is one user ID and one password. The company I recommend, and again, they're not a sponsor yet, it's called LastPass, LASTPASS.com, LASTPASS.com. I've gotten a few emails from everyone asking me about that site again. Again, it's called LastPass, and this is a great company, a great program. What this company will do is they will encrypt all the passwords you use within your browser. You have to remember one user ID and one password. Now then the question is, well, what if you're using another browser somewhere else? All you need to do is to log in with your user ID and your password through LastPass, and you can access your websites that you need to securely. LastPass from LastPass.com. Okay, again, I'd like to see we have a few more people that are joined us in our Facebook Live that we're doing. Facebook Live, we have Floyd. Thank you very much for joining us here. Victoria, Karen. All right, people. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Matt, appreciate everyone being a part of us here on Facebook and Facebook Live. Remember, things that you see, you hear, share this video with all of your friends on your Facebook page. Like it and subscribe as well, folks, because we're going to produce a lot of these videos for you out there with cybersecurity tips that you can pass along to your friends and family so you can protect them and mitigate them from cyber crimes. So back to businesses really quickly here. Businesses are our number one source, and it's very, very important for businesses to have their employees trained. One of the best ways they could do that is to have policies and procedures set within an organization regarding cybersecurity awareness. For example, ask your company, your business, is there a cybersecurity incident response policy or response policy? If there is an attack in your organization, what kind of procedures do you have in place to notify your customers, law enforcement, if there is any attacks going on in your organization? Do you have that now? If you don't, make sure you talk with your legal department and your C-level group. Notice I put these people first before I mention IT, because it's not just an IT problem. It is an organizational problem. A lot of companies are looking at IT to solve this, but it's not just an IT issue. It is a whole company organizational issue. Make sure that everyone is involved, especially in management, and have your organizational train. How about a policy called BYOD? Do you have a policy in place for your company if your employees bring devices to work, like their laptops or phones, and wanted to use the internet at work in order to check on their Facebook page, and send out emails, their personal stuff, using your equipment at work? You should have a policy about that. You should have that router within your organization segregated from your corporate router. A lot of companies don't do that. They use one router and they give their employees access to it. Again, like I mentioned in a previous segment, hackers can hack into a phone and then transfer that malware to your corporate firewall. So that's very important to do. So in my discussion here, it's regarding policies and procedures that organizations should have. A lot of companies do not have these policy procedures. It's very important that you do have them in place, because if there is a audit within your organization because a cyber attack happened on your watch within your company, these are some of the questions that will be asked of your organization. Is, in fact, do you have a policy in place? What type of policy? Have your employees been trained? When was the last time your employees were trained on cybersecurity awareness? Now, I say that because a lot of companies will train their employees only once. They figured, okay, great, they're trained, let's move forward. However, folks, hackers do not stop with one training. Hackers try daily to look for vulnerabilities within your system. Your employees should at least have training twice a year, at least twice a year within your organization, to avoid these type of attacks. So just some things to think about. Folks, if you enjoyed this, I hope you got something out of this a lot. I really appreciate everyone who's following us, and our numbers are getting higher and higher. I recommend everybody to share the information that you have here about us on Technology Review. Again, send me your emails at info@macjacksonjr.com. That's info@macjacksonjr.com. Contact me if you want to talk to me live. Go to my phone number at my corporate offices. You can call me at 702-868-0808, 702-868-0808. Have me come in and talk to your organization about cybersecurity awareness, folks. It's something we all should do. And remember, we need to vote in November. Remember, in November. That's right, folks. Again, macjacksonjr.com, 702-868-0808, 702-868-0808. And we look forward to speaking with you again. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you again. Thank you.